again.
I hope we don't
Hey
have any
guys.
problems with this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are we live? I wonder if we are live.
Let me check.
Does anybody have the YouTube open? No, we are not live yet.
I'm pulling
Okay.
it up right now.
Huh. Let's
You're
see.
It
currently
is
live.
live.
Oh, we are live, I think. Laman just said
Yeah,
yes in
we are.
YouTube, so maybe we just have a little bit of a delay, which I mean we can handle. Oh, perfect. We are live. People are saying, okay, then welcome along to the very first live stream that I ever did, or the very first live stream on this channel as well. Thanks for joining us. We have a few person live in Discord voice chat. As always, feel free to join there as well if you want to join the discussion in voice chat. But you can also post, of course, on YouTube in the comments and guess along who the top 10 will be, and of course as well in the text channel of the Discord, where I will also reveal the top 10 units one by one. So we already have a few people here. We have Dragon Delta, Lavant, AFKH Lü has a question. I've seen Eosia in my team. Is it good if I pull Wellis to support her? Earthausia isn't really a sleep unit. She has one sleep skill, but not really something that has a lot of synergy together. So possibly maybe someone like two of the latest units, like Storm Clarice or even Dark Jeanne might go well with her. Oh, okay, but they are already gone. So maybe someone else for Earth Ossia. I think. I mean, Water Alice is good anyways. I mean, let's see where she will pop up anyways. We also see Lucas there. Hello, and I think we can go into thinking about who the top might be. Although let me first quickly reveal the number 28, which might be interesting to see for some. It is a previous top unit. Do you guys know who it could be?
Maisha?
She was number one at one point. Okay, we have Earth Misha's guess. Any other guesses?
Mm,
We have Gavine from Tariq, I think. It's not Gavine. Gavine never made it to the very top in my rankings,
Oh,
unfortunately.
top 10.
Sorry?
You mean the top 10?
Yeah,
Previous
it was
top
a
10?
it was actually a previous number one even.
Hold
But I
on.
mean,
Was Dog Jean ever number one?
yeah, Dakjin was number one when she basically 1 or 2 months after she was released. Yeah. So Dakjin is also an
Hmm.
option. Yeah.
I
Hmm.
actually think Dog Jean is more likely than Maisha.
That's fair. Yeah. Maisha was a bit higher than her. Okay, let's
Yes,
see
probably
average
Dark Jeanne.
Dakjin. Okay, from Tariq as well. Let's see what average person is saying. Vaninoko is saying Lancelot. Lancelot was never number one in my rankings, but that would be a steep decline if she was falling to number 28. Probably a character that was top one after it was released and got nerfed to existence. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. Let me reveal who it really is. We haven't had that guess actually, but I think it would have been the next one if I was waiting a bit longer. We have Storm Almina now only at 28, falling to number 28 with just 25% usage at this point. But I mean, it's fair. The big selling point of her basically being ignored all the time and having that kind of stealth skill set has been completely denied ever since we see more and more ignore attacks. And of course, with Cinderella, that was a bit of a death nail, I think, for Storm Elmina. So not the biggest surprise, I suppose. But yeah, she's down to number 28. To be fair, she's still top 20 in Europe and the Americas, so still holding on there. But I think this is mostly based on past performance that is still keeping her alive a bit. But now let's get into the actual top 10 instead of dwelling on the past. We can look into who might place at number 10? Do you guys have any guesses for that? Feel free to post them in the comments or also say them in voice chat, of course. Not sure if we are live again. I hope so. But let's keep going. I mean, now you had hopefully some time to think about what your guess might be for number 10. Any ideas? Oh, okay. We
Storm
already see.
Lancelot for
Yeah.
mine.
Oh, Storm Lancelot from Zarek. Wait, which Lancelot actually? Both are Storm.
Not the bride one, of course.
Ah, right, Lancelot. Okay, yeah, yeah, I can see
No,
that.
no, no. The first Lancelot
Oh, the
came
OG
up.
one. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was, I think, number 8 last time still, so still holding on. Let's see who actually might go higher. I mean, do you guys all think that King Arthur and Bright Lancelot will enter the top 10, or will one of them miss it, or will both of them miss it?
I think King Arthur will miss it because she's poison. So I think probably a lot of persons probably would have not taken the chance with her just because she's poison.
Okay.
So
Huh.
she would actually make it into the top 10.
Interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. There are only a handful of people using poison and blood teams, which makes King Arthur's usage not that quite high yet.
I see. I see. I mean, the thing is, her skill set is so strong, right? I mean, the only thing that I see as potentially really hurting her, besides of course being a poison skill set without having strong poison supports out right now, is the kind of mechanic where she's only at the very front really great. So I think King Arthur, if she makes it to the very top, she might actually fall off the top rather quickly over, as soon as she's not super great, she might fall off again. But let's see where she ranks after these first times. I mean, there was a bit of a hype, I think, surrounding her release, basically saying, okay, this is the character to end all characters. But let's see how that goes into the data. Do you guys know, by the way, if we are live again on YouTube, or is it still interrupted?
It shows me as live.
Currently live.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Testing. I feel like
Oh, did
maybe.
you hear my bet? I bet Brad Lancelot for number 10. Not Brad Lancelot, Bright Snow.
Oh, Bright Snow. Okay, I think last time she was also number 10,
Yeah.
right? So basically betting for a stable there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me
Yeah.
quickly see live chat. Okay, we are live. Yes. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Lavant, for confirming as well. Now I see the comments again as well, so that is great. Okay, we have a guess for Bright Snow White. We have a guess for what was it, for original Lancelot from Tarek, right? Lavand is saying King Arthur will be top 10 for sure. Average person is saying, okay, Storm Clarice. Storm Clarice, to be fair, she was only out a few days when I collected the data for this. So yes, she might be in the rankings, but only if she is super, super well received and quickly adapted, which is usually difficult to do for units to immediately get there. Additionally, Storm Clarice had a bit of a holdback because of a fountain that was coming up, I think, in the middle of September. And so people might have been saving for the fountain rewards to catch them while getting this new unit. And yeah, Tarek, she's a specific unit for sure, but yeah, super powerful in my eyes and might actually be a more long-term great unit than someone like King Arthur, I think. But let's see. Um, do we have any more guesses for number 10? Or any of you want to revise your guesses? Because actually the number 10 was not called out yet. So it's not the original Lancelot. It's not Bright Snow White. So we see a new number 10, I guess. And it's also not... Wait, what was the other guess? um, did we have any other guess? Not sure. Who else could it be, guys?
All right. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Honoji.
Honoji. Wow. Okay, that would be quite an upset, I would say, because she was number 28 last time. I mean, I could see her gaining a little bit, but maybe not that That high. But let's see. Honoji is an interesting guess for sure. She disappointed at first. Or Rololicia. So that is Giga Rolosha. That is also an option, I think. I mean, Giga Rolosha, especially against this kind of sleep units, especially against the kinds of what was it, Ludmilla and Clarice against Water Alice, units like that, might be interesting. I think last time she was top 15, so maybe she makes it into the top 10 this time. Any other guess from you? I think Archie. Did you revise your guess yet?
Let's see. Who could be number 10?
I'm gonna give you guys a little tip. It is a water unit.
Yeah.
Bride Ludmilla? No, no, no.
Bride Ludmilla, could be. I mean, last time I think she was 6.
Or probably LNC.
LNC, okay. Ludmilla and Clarice, that would be a huge, huge loss, but also possible.
If it's a water unit, I'll say Bride Ludmilla.
Okay. It is a water unit. But the funny thing is,
Probably Water Colin. Water Colin.
Water Colin. Oh yeah, she was on the rise, I think, last time. She is getting some more usage potentially against units like King Arthur. Very interesting counterplay. But the funny thing is, we still have not heard who number 10 is. It is a water unit, but I think we basically had all the
So,
all the possible water units already, except yeah, except
so I
Lancelot.
guess the only it has to be Water Alice then.
You are absolutely right, Archie. We have number 10, Water Alice. Unfortunately, down 1 rank. I mean, she is gaining a little bit of power, but not a huge amount. She's just top 10 in the rest of Asia, and in the other regions, she's still not breaking into the regional top 10, and still has a usage rate of under 50%. So she is being held back a bit. So this might be something to keep in mind if you are considering to pull Water Alice, especially when the fountain comes tomorrow. Um, the big problem of her, I mean, this is not something that should influence the rankings at this point yet, but I think someone like Storm Clarice, of course, is a really, really strong counter against this kind of setup of Water Alice's skill sets. And there is more and more kind of anti-sleep coming out. We have Dark Jeanne with the stealth shield. We have the wards from various units. So yeah, this is a problem for someone like Water Alice. Let's see if she can go any higher or recover potentially, or if this is a theme of her already going out. I think Water Alice was actually the unit that had the most bets for rising true power, and lucky for them, she actually did gain some power, so the bet was correct. But yeah, that's it for number 10. Let's move on to the number 9. Who could that be now?
Mm. Bright Snow. I guess they could have switched places.
Fair, fair. Yeah. Bright Snow
Or
White.
Lancelot.
Storm Lancelot. So
She
again,
probably went down.
the original one, that is.
Yes, yes.
So we have a Lancelot.
Bride Snow
Mm.
probably rise like a rank. Oh no. One more rank.
One more rank. Okay. Wait, but if Bright Snow White
I don't
rises
think
one. Oh, you mean to number 8. Okay, got it now. I see. So Lancelot down. Lancelot guess. We have a Bright Snow White guess. Any guesses from anybody else as to who number 9 might be? I think average person is typing. We have Commander Astrid. Yeah, that's a fair guess. it is a bit questionable how strong Burn is after all these other units being released. Um,
Yeah, I
pause.
don't think it's gonna be Lancelot. I don't think Lancelot is in the top 10 anymore.
Oh yeah,
The original Storm Lancelot.
that's also an interesting guess. I don't know. I can't read this from Anthony Lucas. We have en un momento sale la fuente. Does anybody have that in English? Some moment?
Love me. Google Translate if you are get.
Fortunately, any language besides German and English is a bit rusty or not existent with me. So, but let's see. Okay. In the meantime, already I can say some of you, or many guesses of you, were actually really close, but the exact one hasn't fallen yet for number 9. So the number 9 is still out there, not guessed yet from anybody.
Number, okay. I mean, go back to the old tier list.
Oh yeah, who was number 9 last time? Good question. We had Water Alice last time. Okay, that's not possible anymore.
Mm.
We had Storm Lancelot at 8.
Wait, is it Bride Lancelot?
Ooh, that's a you're on a you're on a hot trail there, I think.
And you know, yeah, I'm gonna go with Bride Lancelot.
You're absolutely
If
right,
he is
Archie.
though, I'm gonna be upset. I'm so upset. Look at what I did.
I know you changed your bet last minute. Oof, yeah, that's
Oh,
rough. I mean, she is number 9. I mean, the funny thing is she's number 11 in every region except rest of Asia. But no, he's not cheating. It's just he is pretty good. I mean, he changed it back. He changed it away. So it's like if he was cheating, it was the wrong way, the wrong way of cheating.
oh
Um,
my. Okay. I won't ever change again. I have faith in myself.
yeah. Yeah, her battle trance is really something else. I mean, sometimes she just dies and it is a bit annoying. I think her targeting could be much better. She just really like at one point, I mean, I do have Bright Lancelot, and at one point I had like enemies. 3 of them were on hold ground with 1 HP, not hold ground plus, hold ground, and Bright Lancelot chose to attack the 4th unit, which I think I was Cinderella with hold ground plus. So no way for her to defeat her. Um, so yeah, the pay to win passive again. I think it's not that bad because yeah, guards usually need a full
Yeah,
awakening, but I do agree that for a 100% guard, she's probably pretty much the worst pick. As for one copy of her, just getting one copy might be better to just take light Ludmilla then. um, but yeah, this is a Bright Lancelot at number 9, so she's already made it into the top 10, which also means that um, at least one unit of the previous top 10 needs to leave the top 10, I suppose, mathematically.
definitely Lancelot.
Yeah, maybe we have a bit of a immediate switch, kind of one Lancelot goes out of the top 10 and the other one takes over. I mean, to be fair, Bright Lancelot at this point in the meta is much more useful than OG Lancelot, so that could very well be the case. But I mean, potentially we already still see King Arthur, and if that is the case, then another unit might have to leave. So that is something to keep in mind as well as we move on to number 8. Any idea who that number 8 could be? As always,
Hold
place your
on.
place your bets in the text chat or say them out loud, of course.
Bright Snow.
Oh, Bright Snow, okay. That would be an increase of 2 ranks, but I could see it. Still a very, very good unit, obviously, with the kind of constant transformation mechanic going on. And Haute Crown Plus still being interesting, although possibly a bit nerfed with the release of King Arthur and Storm Clarice.
All right, I'm going with King Arthur.
With King Arthur, okay.
Yeah.
What was your original bet for the place of King Arthur? I can't recall right now.
It was 15th and it was 12th. Now it's
Oh,
8th.
oh, it's 8 currently. Okay. Let's see who it will be. Much is the problem. Yeah, some Lancelot definitely lost out a bit. But as for number 8, it is a unit. It hasn't been mentioned yet. I'm going to give a little tip, and the tip is it is a unit with very divergent use across the regions. So basically, in some servers, she's a must-have, and in other regions, she's
Yeah.
not used that much.
Commander Astrid.
Yes. You're too good as you're too good as this. So we have to reveal number 8, Commander Astrid, with 69% usage, and you can see she lost some power, 400,000, unfortunately. But she is ranked number 3 in Japan with 69% usage overall. But I think in Japan it is much, much higher. In Japan, everybody needs to be there. And so, yeah, this is
My
pretty.
bets are not going good this turn.
let's see. I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity. But yeah, number 8, Commander Astrid. I still think she's a really, really good unit, and I think she can actually benefit a little bit from sleep being pushed back. Although, of course, someone like Storm Clarice and King Arthur with the kind of status ignore in terms of killing other units might also endanger Commander Astrid because of her Burning Heart not triggering. But yeah, it is what it is. But Commander Astrid is still very, very strong skill set and an absolute must-have for any and all burn teams. And now we are on to number 7. Who might number 7 be? I think we have a guess from Vaninoko on YouTube. Sleeping Beauty. Okay, that might be a little bit of a drop. What about you, Archie and Tauk?
Bright Ludmilla.
Bright Ludmilla. Okay, previously I
Ooh.
think number 6. That would just be 1 rank down. Fair. Archie,
Oh,
average
hold on.
person.
I'm actually a bit confused now.
You confused by?
If hold on, if Bright Snow's at 10, Commander Astrid dropped by 1.
No, we didn't see Bright
So
Snow
that
yet.
means we have a spot. Oh yeah, no, I mean like she was at number 10 last time and you haven't seen her yet.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Who might be number 7?
But I
Okay,
guess I'll go with Bright Snow then, since we haven't seen her yet.
okay, Archie and average person going with Bright Snow White. I'm gonna add a tip here as well, and that is that this number 7, I think, is probably the biggest surprise in terms of this month's top 10. At least for me when I saw it. Oh my god, it's grand. So yeah. Oh
All right,
man,
so currently
man, I really wish sometime we get a unit that just suddenly elevates, a previous trash unit to absolute top tier for some reason. I don't know. Like something like, okay, if this unit is over 1000 days old, give it a 50% quicken and armor and enrage or something like that. I don't know. Something that lifts up these people. Okay, we have Bright Ludmilla guess from Lavant. Still didn't see the very surprising one yet. What do you think, Archie?
all right, I'm gonna say last chance for King Arthur to come in.
Last chance already. Okay. King Arthur at 7. Well, the thing is, King Arthur at 7 wouldn't, have necessarily surprised me that much. It is a unit that was previously higher, but it's not Bright Ludmilla. So it's one of the previous top 5. Okay, Zarek is now going with Ludmilla and Clarice.
I hope it's not Ludmilla&Clarice. I'm trying to pull for her tomorrow. Well, no, it's today.
Well, you might want to resync that. No, I'm just kidding. But it is actually the number 7, Ludmilla and Clarice. We have 1.7 million true power lost, which is an insane amount, actually. She's
What?
fallen off quite a bit, and I'm honestly that is why I said I was really surprised when I saw this. Like she just kind of fell off. People were going with different units now. Um, I mean, the thing about Ludmilla and Clarice is, I guess, that she really needs to run at the start, and we do see more and more sleep immunities being introduced. Well, not full sleep immunities, but things that shield against sleep. So that is already not helpful for her. And then the thing is, outside of the front 4 and behind guards, she is kind of vulnerable against various attacks. So maybe that's the reason. I do think she's still, I don't know, she's still very good. But apparently, as per the data, she did drop a little bit. Let's see how she performs next month after her second banner. This might be a chance for her to rise again, but I'm not fully convinced. Obviously, just being a second banner isn't enough because then she will lose the first banner boosts in the true power. So she will need to step up her game. But yeah, that's pretty crazy, dropping from 8 million true power to nearly 6 million. That is huge, especially considering that many people actually bet on her further increasing her power. And so these people, unfortunately, will lose quite some points in the betting game because that bet really fell through in terms of how much true power she actually lost. She needed clothes to be more strong at fully awakening. Well, they are wearing clothes, right? They are wearing underwear. 1.7 decrease. What is the highest decrease? That's actually a good question. I have to look that up sometime. I feel like this is pretty much as high as it goes. I'm not sure if we ever saw over 2 million decrease in a month because, you have to really lose a lot of significance for that and actually start very high for that. I mean, some units actually never really get 2 million true power, although the latest releases are not really a case for that. But yeah, this is a big surprise, I think. And so Ludmilla and Clarice are down to number 7 from previously number 4, and they were actually SSS tier, which might change now. So keep that in mind when she is possibly released tomorrow in the fountain. It certainly gave me second thoughts because I was also considering possibly going for her, but now that we see more and more sleep nerfs slowly being introduced, I'm not that convinced anymore, although I really like her Deadly Guard mechanic and her Savage Knockout that strikes against 2. Both of these two together are really, I think, a very, very nice combo. But anyways, let's move on to number 6. We are getting into higher and higher territory, and we will see another unit at number 6. Who could that be? What are you guys' thoughts?
Ooh, 6.
Bride Ludmilla.
Okay, Bride Ludmilla. So basically same rank as previously. Average person going with Sleeping Beauty. Okay, can also see that she was number 5 previously, so that would be just one rank down. Although Sleeping Beauty, I think, was the second most guessed in terms of getting true power, but we saw what happened to Ludmilla and Clarice, and also Water Alice didn't really deliver a huge true power gain. So let's see. Everything is possible. Archie, your guess?
Bright Snow.
Hmm. Okay. Still sticking with Bright Snow White. Let's see if she shows up. We have a lot of bright guesses, I guess. Sleeping Beauty, Bright Ludmilla, Bright Snow White. We have Anya. Oh, Light Anya, that is Lavant, I suppose. That would be quite a drop, but honestly, given that we see more and more, well, let's say units that can really defeat the purpose of guards. Well, not fully defeat it, but kind of make it easier to kill these high HP beasts. It is a possibility, especially with someone like King Arthur. King Arthur, I think, is basically a direct counter against someone like Light Anya, just from element, but also in terms of dealing damage and dealing damage quickly. That could really hurt Light Anya if King Arthur is high up. But let's see if King Arthur actually shows up in the top 10. I'm gonna prepare the reveal if we don't have any more guesses, because one of the guesses was already correct. Let's see who picked the right one. And this time it's actually Zaruk. Congrats. Very nice pick. Bright Ludmilla, actually insane, I think. She's still at 100% usage. She has gained a little bit of true power. I mean, it's just 12,000, but still remarkable considering that not a single person bet on her increasing in power. um, one more sign that you can never underestimate 100% cards, or Bright Ludmilla in specifics, who has been released over 2 years ago and is still holding on to the top 10 placement. That is absolutely impressive, I would say. And she's top 5 in every single region. So also interesting to point out, despite her age of over 800 days. Yeah,
Yeah, she's
100%.
easy.
Say it again, Archie.
I said it's insane that she's holding on for this long.
Yeah, it's crazy.
100.
Maybe she
I was
becomes.
actually gonna get her before like Anya released, and then I changed my mind to like Anya.
Well,
Or she
that's
would have
fair.
been my pick.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Light Anya is, I think, is better than Bright Ludmilla at this point. However, sometimes Bright Ludmilla can really come in and hold off the masses for quite some time. Although I think now someone like Storm Clarice um, might hurt the chances of Bright Ludmilla in the next one. But let's see. Um, Average person has one copy of her, keeps getting one shot. Yeah, one copy is really rough for Bright Ludmilla, I think, especially at this point where we see such high damage outputs. She really kind of needs that full awakening. However, even at one copy, I think this is still some value because you have a 100% guard. She takes one shot for the team, and maybe someone like some vengeance effect gets triggered because of it. So still useful in setting up your team or protecting your team just that little bit longer, which might make absolutely the difference of whether someone of your main DPS survives or not. Light Ludmilla and Storm Rolosha still in the top 30 despite being 1.0 characters. Yes, this is true for Light Ludmilla. Storm Rolosha, unfortunately, I think pretty much after the release of Giga Rolosha, was no longer able to hold on to the kind of top 30 position. But yeah, I'm still using her in my second platoon. So yeah, definitely a unit that I'll be using for a long time. I might actually stop using someone like Storm Elmina before stopping to use Storm Rolosha. So yeah, that's number 6. So now we are in top 5 territory, and we are actually in a territory with 7 million or higher true power. Quite impressive. What do you guys think? Who could be number 5?
Mhm. Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty, keeping on to number
Yeah.
5. Zarek also saying Sleeping Beauty. Lavant also saying Sleeping Beauty. I wonder if my YouTube chat is working or if nobody's posting there. Let me test. Okay, the test is working. Starbucks. Nice. So we have pretty much unity. Nobody is really saying okay anything else except Sleeping Beauty. I mean the question that comes with that, I think, is who will be top 4 then? Oh hey Kayo, you can also place your guess for number 5. If number 5 is Sleeping Beauty, then somebody else must have joined the top 4, given that number 4, Ludmilla and Clarice, fell out of the top 4. Exactly average person, that's
Um,
the question. Epsilon, no, it's not done yet. Oh, I think I'm not sure if he can hear me. Possibly on YouTube, not on the Discord chat. The new unit.
um,
The new
number
unit being
4.
which one? Hmm. Well, I mean, I'm already gonna resolve a little bit of tension and say number 5 is actually not Sleeping Beauty.
All right.
Who else could it be then?
I think there are only 2 candidates, Bright Snow and King Arthur.
Hmm.
More likely Bright Snow, though.
Zarek is going with that as well, going with number 5 Bright Snow, and then Sleeping Beauty, Light, Anya, Storm, Jeanne, and Cindy. So basically saying, okay, top 3 are staying the same. Number 4, Sleeping Beauty, would be 1 rank up, and Bright Snow at 5. What are your other guesses? I mean, Zarek is saying Bright Snow White for number 5. Average person, Archie, or anybody on YouTube? What's your guess?
Hmm. Let me throw in King Arthur. I'll hold out hope.
Got no clue, mate. Okay, so Archie, you're saying King Arthur? Sorry, I didn't fully catch that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'll hold out hope.
So changing the thoughts. The last character on my data was Storm Clarice, but Storm Clarice was only out for a few days when I collected the data. So it might be a bit early for Storm Clarice, although I do think she's a great unit. It will be much more reliable in terms of her ranking when we see the October rankings. So definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, King Arthur at number 11 then from Zaruk. Hi, Kayo. Uh, Great that you're checking out my top 10. We are currently revealing them. We are already at the top 5, and we had a few guesses for number 5. I think pretty much Bright Snow White and I guess Storm Clarice in a sense. Average person, no clue left in terms of who might number 5 be. And Archie, I think, is going with King Arthur. And one of you guys was right with that. As I said before, it's not Sleeping Beauty at number 5. We do see a new unit
Mhm.
at number 5,
Wait.
and it's King
Hey,
Arthur.
wow.
Number 5, King Arthur. I think a few people actually guessed that number 5 in the betting game. So they will get some extra points for it. And yeah, King Arthur at number 5. I mean, she's not, interestingly enough, she's already top 3 in rest of Asia, but only number 12 in Japan. So still needs some more catch up there. She's at 53% usage after just about a month of being released. So that is very impressive. And the big thing that is also carrying her up, I think, is that she is at, she is basically a first platoon unit. She needs to start in the front, and first platoon units, of course, get an additional true power boost because they are having more of an impact on all the battles. And King Arthur is certainly a unit that you should, in my eyes, either run in the front or basically not run at all. At least right now, as the meta is, I think it would be a waste to
Mm-hmm.
put King Arthur anywhere except into the front four. Poison gonna rise then? I don't think necessarily, honestly. That's the thing. King Arthur, while being a standalone great unit, and she has a poison skill set, a blood skill set, she's not really making others, I think, carrying others up right now. And that's also what I don't see yet in the data. For example, someone like Angel Reset isn't really benefiting much from King Arthur so far. And the funny thing is, for example, in servers like Japan, um, I actually see her being used in burn teams. So King Arthur together with someone like Commander Astrid and Nobunaga and Bride Astrid. So basically, a kind of a poison burn hybrid, something that was quite unthinkable maybe a year ago or so, is something that seems to be working now for many strong players. So yeah, King Arthur. Let's see where she goes from here. Some people also already said, okay, she's number 1. I'm not sure if she can reach number 1 because it is a very tough mountain to climb to be such a universally great unit. And King Arthur seems a bit specific, and some people might skip her because of that kind of poison blood gimmick and also because of her dawn gimmick, which means that she might drop off at some point, similar to someone like, who was it? Dark Snow White, the original Dark Snow White, 2 years ago, the number 1 unit, right when Dark Jeanne was released, and now really nowhere to be found. Actually, where is she now? Let me check. Dark Snow White, where are you hiding? Okay, she's number 48. So Dark Snow White 2 years later dropped off quite a bit now to 400,000 true power only. But yeah, it is what it is. Hey Lucifer, thanks for joining on YouTube. And we are on to the top 4 already. Only the very best units left to reveal after King Arthur at number 5 with just 53% of usage already in the top 5. Who might
So,
be number 4?
Sleeping Beauty for number 4.
Sleeping Beauty at number 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Zarek also going for
Mm.
Talia. Average person going for Sleeping Beauty as well. Do you have any other guesses?
Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's like a lot of candidates.
That is
Maybe I
true.
could
That
see
is true.
Light Anya. I could see Light Anya taking number 4. But
That's fair.
I'd say that's the only other
Yeah.
possibility.
Yeah. I was just baiting you a little
I
bit,
mean,
to be
yeah,
honest. It is actually Sleeping Beauty. But what were you gonna say, Archie?
I was gonna say, there's not like that much power difference between 3 and 4 last time, so it could
True,
have been
true.
like Anya.
Yeah, true. Sleeping Beauty actually gained power, so 300,000 up, which is interesting, which might speak of, units being, burn units being pushed back a bit with all that's going on. Although, well, I'm still a bit confused about her basically having a rise while simultaneously someone like Ludmilla&Clarice fell significantly. So that is quite interesting, I think. She is top 7 in every single region, so that speaks for her universal use. although in many regions, except in the Americas, she's mostly used in the later platoons when any potential burn hopefully already died down. But yeah, in the Americas, she's number 2, but that is also 1 down. Previously, she was, I think, well, no, I think she was number 2 last time, but I think 2 months ago she was number 1 in the Americas. So let's see who is the top 3 then. I mean, Sleeping Beauty, I'm not sure if we have to talk much about her. Her Thorn mechanic still really strong, but of course, with the new generation of units like King Arthur and Storm Clarice, it is getting a bit more problematic potentially for her because the thorns might not be enough to keep her alive. But let's see how things develop in the future. Still, obviously, I think maybe the strongest unit still if we take burn out of the game. So basically, in a world where there are no burn units, Sleeping Beauty I think would be number 1. But yeah, moving on to number 3 because we are still in a world where there are a lot burn units and there are a lot more strong burn units ever since this year. So that is something that we cannot take out of the equation. If Sleeping Beauty was released 1 year ago or something, I feel like she would also go straight to number 1, even just before Commander Astrid or something. Okay, we have Tarek going with Storm Jeanne Guess, a controversial one. Okay,
Ooh,
I see.
yeah,
I like.
I have to go with like Anya.
Okay,
I
Light
would
Anya
really hope
Storm
it's
Jeanne.
not Storm Team. That's my only chance left for one correct bit.
True, I think you had a bet for Storm Jeanne, right?
Yeah,
And I think you were one of the few actually who put Storm Jeanne. So if that turns out correct, then you might be in for a good payout. Okay, Vaninoko on YouTube is saying number 1 will be Cindy. Possibly. She's still super strong. Right now, let's see who number 3 might be. Kayo is saying, I think Anya or Storm Jeanne. And I think, yeah, those are the only valid options at this point. Doesn't seem like Bright Snow White will go into the top 3, right, guys?
yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, it's
Especially in
it's hmm?
Arthur got number 5.
True. Yeah, King Arthur is kind of yeah, is a nemesis of someone like Bright Snow White because it undermines her survivability, and there's also the elemental disadvantage from Light Snow White against King Arthur. Although I mean, sometimes she is in her dark form, so then there is no elemental disparity between them. Um, but yeah, let's see. Vaninoko is saying number 3, Light Anya as well. Tarek is saying only got 2 out of 4 guesses. Yeah, but don't worry. There's a lot of a lot of bets that have gone wrong this time, so you're not the only one there, I think. I think we have everybody's guesses, so it's basically everybody saying Storm Jeanne or Light Anya. The majority going for Light Anya. Tarek going for a bit of a controversial guess in saying, okay, Storm Jeanne dropping to the number 3. And so I'm gonna reveal the number 3. And it is a unit that is top 5 in every region and has great usage. But I mean, that's not really giving away yet who of the 3 potential options it is. And it is actually Light Anya as before, still keeping the number 3
Yeah.
spot and gaining just a really tiny bit of true power, just 22,000. But every person pretends to be shocked. Yeah, I mean, Light Anya still holding on. I mean, the thing is, she's probably still the best universal guard, I guess, considering that Bright Lancelot cannot be used in burn teams. So yeah, really good, especially against some stun absorbers. So well done for you guesses, guys. That is Light Anya on number 3. And so we can already move on to number 2. Who might that be?
Storm Jean, and I'm hoping to gain some power.
Okay, Archie putting all his hopes now into Storm Jeanne. Zarek is also going with Storm Jeanne. Let's
Actually,
see.
could could King Arthur do enough to actually remove Cinderella from number one?
Good question. I mean, King Arthur is a good counter against her if she's not being played in the front, because I think if she's played in the front, by the time King Arthur gets to use the Regal Eclipse, Cinderella might already be safe. Kayo on YouTube is saying Storm Jeanne for sure. A lot of conviction here in Storm Jeanne. I mean, it's fair to some degree. She is at this point aging already, but still holding on very well, considering she's already, what is it, 9 months old? And the meta has been developing much faster than before. Considering all that, I think Storm Jeanne is still a really good unit, especially considering that she, I think, is really, really good against King Arthur's in some instances, because King Arthur really likes to use the Regal Eclipse on someone like Storm Michaela or Storm Jeanne. But if the other one is still alive, then it's really kind of a waste. So yeah, a lot of reasons there. Okay, average person is going with Cinderella because I don't have her and keep getting destroyed by her in arena. Well, isn't that a reason why she would rather be number one? But I can see the reasoning. Cinderella is still having a lot of impact, so I think the argument can be made either way. In terms of DPS, of course, Cinderella has a much higher damage output than someone like Storm Jeanne, but Storm Jeanne just has all that enormous utility, and that pretty much in any team, but the same can be said for Cinderella, who is that kind of universal DPS that can be put into any team. Neutral Crowd is still shocked from the Ludmilla&Clarice drop down. I was thinking of pulling the unit, and now I don't know. Yeah, as I said, I can relate to this because honestly, her fall to number 7 was really surprising when I saw it. But yeah, for some reason, I don't know, she really fell down in Japan. Um, and yeah, she's at number 7 now, and now I'm also reconsidering if I should pill for her. I'm leaning towards not, but that is also because I'm not really heavily invested into sleep. I only have pretty much kind of like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty, which are doing okay without her as well. Although the Sleeping Beauty Ludmilla&Clarice combo is really, really nice. But yeah, 5 copies is a bit of a commitment at this point with my soul stones. So I don't know. But yeah, number 2 now. Let's reveal it. We have the right guess already. Some are saying Cinderella, some are saying Storm Jeanne. Most are saying Storm Jeanne, and they are actually right. We do have Storm Jeanne at number 2, and she gained 700,000 true power, which is insane. I,
Yay!
I think she gained the most true power of the previous top 10 units. She's back to number 1 in Japan and rest of Asia, which is stunning. Honestly, I was really surprised when I saw this. Um, and yeah, she's back to number 1 and in these regions, and at least top 3 in every region. Yeah, yeah, Zarek, that's that's right. Her stuns are also absolutely helpful, and she has 100% usage. So I mean, can you can't really argue against her being an absolute top unit if literally every single top team that I'm looking at is having her in their lineup. Um, so yeah, I think really, really a great unit, and I think the most important thing is I think together with someone like Sleeping Beauty, she's also the best unit you could possibly get at 1 copy. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think Storm Jeanne can provide huge value just with her kind of constant
Yeah,
cycling.
yeah, I agree. The indestructible guard from Michaela.
Yeah, and sometimes with as I said before, King Arthur or someone kind of using their special attack, or maybe even Storm Clarice using them on these units, and then they just come back and keep the cycle going, then it's kind of a waste of the charges of King Arthur, for example. So yeah, I think Storm Jeanne is an easy recommendation if you still want to get one copy, although she's not the one you want to rely on for DPS because her hate is just really, really high. So she will be hopefully constantly revived by Storm Michaela. So yeah, Hold Plus doing its wonder. Yeah, I mean, Hold Ground Plus is getting into the getting nerfed era, and so this kind of unique survival mechanic of Storm Jeanne and Storm Michaela are getting more and more helpful. Yeah, Vaninoko, I agree. The rise of King Arthur should possibly help Storm Jeanne, and also someone like Storm Clarice might actually help Storm Jeanne because of that kind of helping stun units get better, which is also nice. So yeah, we are already getting towards the number
Yeah.
one. I'm not sure if there's a lot of discussion about this left. So maybe I'll just go ahead and
This
reveal
is a
it.
very interesting tier list.
Yeah, it will have some significant changes, and the fun thing is it will actually have a lot of changes in the back tiers as well. We see a lot of units drop in power. Things are getting a bit mixed up with the latest releases, I think. So will be very interesting to see how this develops going forward. But here we go. Let's look at number 11, which is definitely not Cindy because I am revealing the number 11 here just for a quick reveal. Bright Snow White just barely missed the top 10, as you can see here. She is number 7 in Europe, but she's only 24 in Americas, so her usage is quite divergent. She's nearly 100 days old and has around 50% usage, so every second top team is using her. But of course, this is not quite enough to go up into the big leagues, but should be enough to keep her in SS tier. And yeah, Neutral Crowd, Lancelot, the original Lancelot, if she is not number one, then she will no longer be in the top 10, which I think
Yeah.
is overdue to some degree. She held on much longer than I actually
Yeah.
expected.
She had a good run.
Absolutely. I mean, she introduced kind of the new era of strong units. Basically, after 1 year of barely any strong new units, I think Water Snow White or something was maybe an exception, but the whole of 2022 really saw no really strong units released, I think, until Lancelot and maybe, Water Snow White as a bit of an exception. I can't think of any strong 2022 units other than guards being released, except for Lancelot and Water Snow White, and maybe Freya, who was also good. And so Lancelot being released at the end of November 2022 was kind of starting a new revolution of power creep, which is still going on, and that is why the original introducer of the power creep, original Storm Lancelot, is now out of the top 10, and instead we are looking at another number one. And I think it's also interesting to point out, I think Lancelot actually never made it to number one because just 1 month after her, Storm Jeanne was released, and that basically put an end to the hopes of Lancelot to actually get up there. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's reveal number one now. Any final guesses as to who it could be? Okay, everybody
Let's
is
see.
Umai. Umai,
Ooh.
probably. Honestly, Umai. I mean, back when I don't know, I've been playing Evertale for 4 years, and even then she was probably the worst unit. And in Arena as well, I think maybe Umai might deserve the title for the very, very worst unit in the entire game. Her skill set is really, really trash. Okay, Akatsuki also, but I mean, someone like Akatsuki, at least, with maybe with Commander Astrid, can do some good stuff, but Umai is just Umai, so just so bad. Kirin, yeah, but Kirin at least maybe, I don't know, maybe can act like a pseudo guard because of his survivor's fury. I don't know. Kirin is a good pick as well. Finn at least has that kind of storm stunning entry, which is still useful sometimes, but there are some much better units for that, of course. But if you get him off banner and don't have 20 SSR units yet, still a good pick for your SSR, your arena team. And then we have Chirel at number 1, which yeah, maybe in another world in terms of other skills she might actually have gotten that, or well, actually other skills in terms of having her probabilities updated, because her probabilities, I think, what made her so well, not good enough,
Yeah,
at least for top level arena, right?
actually. Yeah, I think what's good over is that the probabilities increase the further back she is. So
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
more powerful the later she is in the platoon.
Yeah, being a back unit really hurts her, and even in the back, like, it could possibly happen that she just dies and there's some RNG and nothing happens. Um, so yeah, the probabilities are just too low. I think she should have at least, I don't know, 50% the whole game to actually make it worthwhile. That kind of 25% until the last platoon is reached is just really really bad. I mean, I think they really wanted to be careful and not to make it too OP in terms of that kind of multiplying effect. But honestly, I think they limited it to having 3 Jirels at the same time anyways, so I don't know why they were so careful with the probabilities. But honestly, I don't mind. She's probably the worst unit from 2023, which is saying something considering she's much, much better than a lot of units that were released in 2022. So I wouldn't mind seeing more Jirel releases or Jirel-like releases in the rest of the year, so we can catch a bit of a breath.
Yeah,
but yeah, number 1 is Cinderella. Big surprise.
indeed.
Biggest surprise maybe is that she lost her number 1 spot already in Japan and rest of Asia. As we saw before, that is now occupied by Storm Jeanne again, but she is number 1 in Europe, number 1 in Americas, and she lost 400,000 of true power, but that's still 9.4 million of power. So keep that in mind. That is just a really, really high number. And keeping that up is just really difficult, especially with more and more strong units being released, and especially some units that can possibly put into question her survivability if she runs in later platoons. And yeah, I think a lot of people are fans of her design. I think her second picture is my favorite of Cinderella. I would much rather have that as her fully awakened picture, to be honest. But yeah, it's not a, a, a wishing concert, I guess, a Wunschkonzert. So yeah, but yeah, really like the design of Cinderella as well. Um, but yeah, she's number 1. um, Maybe should I quickly post the top 14? Yeah, I'm just gonna post the top 14 so we see what happened on one view, I guess. And maybe some of the other units that might be interesting. Let's see if this works. All right. Hope this is
There we
being
go.
visible to people on YouTube as well. Hopefully not too small. We have Bright Snow White at 11, as we saw before. Giga Rolosha actually rises to number 12, so that is why I said earlier Giga Rolosha was actually not a bad guess at the beginning. Bright Astrid is falling a little bit to number 13, so burn units are generally down, except for Nobunaga, who rose a little bit, but still keeping the number 14 spot. And as for Storm Clarice, that is a bit surprising, but as I said before, I mean, she was out only a few days, but Storm Clarice only made it to the 23rd position with 6% usage. Um, my explanation for this is that I think people were still holding back at this point because of the lucky fountain that was coming soon, and so they didn't want to pull before getting the rewards. At least that is, I think, true for many of the top teams that were waiting until Thursday to pull her, which of course was already after I collected this data. So that is probably why Storm Clarice is a bit underperforming in this month's rankings, but you can still um, I think you can still expect her to rise in the next ranking. So if you guys think about putting Storm Clarice as your 23 bet next time, then I think you might want to think again. And yeah, Neutral Cloud is saying Hold Ground Pipers is probably the reason for Cinderella losing some true power. And yeah, I think that's true. I mean, to be fair, still 98% usage, so still universally acclaimed. But the question is, where do you put her in your platoons? And also, which teams, are really thriving because of her? I mean, personally, Cinderella is still my best unit that I have, and I do think she will still be relevant for quite some time longer. But yeah, she will not break into the 10 million true power territory. No unit has done that before, and I think, yeah, she might not make it. We will need to see another unit to actually make this. Before we wrap up this live stream, already thanks for everybody who was joining, but now we're gonna quickly reveal who did the best on the bets this time. Let me just see. We have some big movements. And
Oh, let's see.
and who do we have? Let's see the best performers of this round. Actually, interestingly, we have quite a few people on the stream who are some of the top performers this round. So I'm just going to call out the top three to make it a bit quicker. But on number 3, we see a first-time better, and that was Lavant, who is also here. I'm not sure if he's still listening in, but he wrote some comments earlier. So congratulations. He had the great guesses with Wallace, Storm Jeanne, and Cinderella. Even though Cinderella was a wrong guess, the other picks really lifted him up some more. So that was the third best performance of this month. On the second best performance, we actually have a repeat offender, basically, who is really performing well in the last few rounds. We have T-shirt, who is gaining 92% and thus having the second best performance of this month. And then at number 1, I think it's the same as last time, actually. Let's see. Archie at number 1 with 99% gain. Congratulations.
Oh, and they only got one right.
Yeah, the Storm Chin pick was so big that the Commander Astrid pick was like, okay, you lost a little bit of points there, but putting some points on Storm Chain really paid off big time, because that bet paid out 243% plus.
Oh, that's great.
So yeah, that was really big. Only a few people actually picked Storm Chain. That was T-shirt, LOL is real, Archie, and Lavant. And all these people who picked Storm Chain are in the top 3 of this month for a reason. But yeah, overall, now we have a new ranking. We have a new top 3. And at number 3 now, overall performance, we have Archie. So congratulations again, making it up
Yay.
there already, shooting past people, because last time you were still number 19. So that shows how quickly things can change. I mean, we had a bit of a crazy round this time with Storm Chain being such a underrated pick, and a lot of people actually picking Ludmilla&Clarice, which lost them 99% on that bet. So yeah, that is holding them down a bit. For example, Tarek, although Tarek made up for it with a few other bets that were nicely placed, so still holding on to a good position. But yeah, at number 2 we have Thanatos, who was number 2 before already, still performing great. But at number 1 now with an insane amount of points, honestly, is T-shirt with 5,500 points. That is a value that was never reached before. So congratulations to T-shirts. And as always, everybody who didn't place their bets this time, next time there's the chance again to place your bets anywhere, whether that is on YouTube or possibly in the Discord server, which again, I invite you to join. Obviously, this event will be held again, hopefully as a live stream if everything worked as I hope. I mean, we had one disconnect, but other than that, I feel like maybe it went okay. Let's see how the aftermath looks of how that is handled by YouTube. I'm not sure yet. Um, but yeah, I will post the points of the bettors. I don't have the kind of graph ready yet because we had some last minute changes. For example, Archie took out the Bright Lancelot bet, which would have given him even more points. But I mean, he was already number
Mm,
one anyways.
but, yeah.
Um, perfect. Neutral Cloud is now on our server as well. Hope you can join us next time. Param is just joining and saying what's up. We are just wrapping up the event, but I think the live stream should be available to watch afterwards. I will just have to go through it and put some timestamps to the different unit reveals, so everything will be nice and orderly. Yeah, the top 28 will be released soon. The top 42, as always, on the community tab on my channel. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for everybody for joining my very first live stream. Special thanks, of course, to Archie and Zarek, who were keeping me company with their voices, so it's not a monologue. Thank you very much. And yeah, I hope you have a
Yep.
nice evening or day, depending on where you are, whether Americas or Asia or Europe. Very different time zones, but I think all coming nicely together at this time. And Zerikston or
Yeah.
Örikston, how is that said? It says
That's
hello
so
YouTube.
nice.
uh, thanks, average person. Thanks for listening in and guessing along as well to everybody who did. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And yeah, very curious to see how things will develop in the future. I mean, the top three have been holding on to the top three spots for a long time now. So let's see if any of these new units break that open or cause some serious deviations. I mean, Ludmilla and Clarice might only be the beginning. So yeah, all right, cool.
Oh, yeah. I'm about
Th-
to go back the bullet and someone let me learn Clarice. So wish me luck, guys.
oh wait, you're gonna pull?
Yeah, I already have one copy of her at level 200,
Oh
fully
yeah, yeah.
mastered. So
Got it, got it.
might as
Yeah, then
well.
yes, yes, go for it. Good luck for that. Um, let's see how it goes. Keep us updated in the lucky summons, hopefully in the lucky summons channel and not in the unlucky summons. that would be that would be the dream, I guess.
Alright. Yeah.
All right,
So,
cool.
all right then. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye, everybody, and talk to you next time. Hopefully, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, bye.